I've been very concerned about caregiver resiliency. I've been listening to webinars like crazy. And so to frame our conversation today, I've pulled some quotes that I thought would be helpful for you to react to. So the first one is this: the expectation that we can be immersed in suffering and loss daily and not be touched by it is as unrealistic as expecting to be able to walk through water without getting wet. Here's my question. Stress, anxiety, worry, fear, those are normal reactions to this pandemic and all the stress associated. So talk about how this stress has manifested in your different communities.
Well, I've spent a lot of time looking at fear and anxiety, an enormous amount of time, and post-traumatic stress disorder, because we have the perfect breeding ground for it. And I think from my perspective, I've really taken a 4-step process on this. The first is that I identified all the things, and then I actually started trying to understand what were facts and what were feelings and how we differentiate between the two, because people were allowed to feel any way they wanted to feel. And what we had is facts to try and help people through those feelings, because we should have been afraid. We should have been very afraid. We should have had anxiety. We should be feeling stress. We should be feeling all those things. But how do we take all those feelings and manage to function with them and live through it? So it's a very complex question, even though it sounds very simple. And I think just showing up, all of us, because the number one thing that has reduced my personal fear as anxiety is not going through this alone. I have a very tough time explaining to you what it's been like, but let me tell you, I have the joy of getting up every day and coming into a building and having people all around me get it. And that helps us all deal with those feelings.
Resiliency factors have been identified as meaningful work, a sense of community, long-term relationships, and recognition from families and the community at large. So how have you, your organization, and the Greenhouse core values kind of supported resiliency factors in the last 2 months?
We have created an environment where we are a family. And I don't just mean with our work environment, I mean literally. And families are a unit, and we talk and we laugh and we have fun, but we also unconditionally love each other.
One of the resiliency workshops, you might have been to the same one, talked about having a battle buddy. So we're encouraging people to get, because other people in it understand. Kind of like Naomi was saying, it's not what we signed up for. We're in a different place. So finding somebody who understands and checking in with them. So we want to make sure everybody has some kind of buddy, some kind of support system.
So we allowing people and acknowledging that, and empowering them to share their story and their part of the view and their perspective. We were given such almost, I don't want to say ultimate authority, but the staff were so empowered to take an action and do something that it gave us the ability to feel and now share those. We really did become their real families. Our aides who have such a deep knowing, they were the first ones who said to us, she's not eating right. Something's wrong. Long before a doctor, long before anyone knew. So really empowering them and acknowledging their feelings and celebrating their success quietly and openly.
The deep knowing. So our deep knowing of our elders, but also deep knowing of our shabazz, our nurses, and giving them that comfort to express whatever they need to express. I interviewed some of our shabazz in talking about resiliency and how we supported that, and they feel like just being able to direct that care, to have that voice, to really be at the center of everything has created control in a situation where you don't have much control. So they like being at the center of it and kind of directing us on what they might need and what other ideas they have to lighten things up as well. I think with the caregivers that we have here, I think kind of back to the heart of this topic, the more we can empower them, the more control that they feel like they have in the house to support their elders, to support each other, to notice, like Naomi was saying, the little things that have changed, to partner with the nurses, to get that education, have that autonomy. Excuse me. I think that from what they're telling me, that is very important in how hopeful and positive they feel going forward.
I agree. Empowering the staff, but also reminding them of the other core values about this is all about a meaningful life. You are not a caregiver here. You're part of a family here. This is a real home. You know, this is what you do matters. I spoke this morning to some of our staff, and I explained to them, I said, you know, you're turning and positioning people when this went wrong, and you're making sure that our elders stay hydrated. That saved people's life, and what you did mattered. And reminding them that it's not just that we empowered them, but that they took the action. And it's all three of the core values. This is somebody's real home, and we are part of their real family, that we give people meaningful lives, their lives matter, and our staff are really empowered to be able to do that.